This demonstration will go through a confidence interval for a population mean. So I'm using the Technology Manual, Section 9.2, Part 4 as the guideline to this demonstration. So at the beginning, we start with the confidence level given, the mean is given, the standard deviation is given, and the sample size is given. So these are the things that I already have loaded in my worksheet. The next thing that I need is I need the area in the tails. So if I have 0.98 as my confidence level, then the area in the tails is 1 minus that value. So 0.02. Next thing is the degrees of freedom. So remember, the degrees of freedom is always n minus 1. So n minus 1, 20 minus 1, 19. So that's what's going to go in that cell. The next thing is the t-value. So we're going to use a new command. So we're going to use t inverse to tail, because in confidence intervals, we're always setting things up as a two-tail. So I'm going to go into my formula command again, and in the brief description, I'm going to type in t inverse to tail, just to get something to come up. So the first one is, so it highlights it. I'm going to say OK. Then the probability that I'm going to use is the area that's in the tail, so the 0.02, and the degrees of freedom, which is the 19, and I'll push enter. 2.539483. So there's my t-value. Then the next thing I need to do is I need to come up with that margin of error. So I need to come up with the E so that I can add and subtract that from my point estimate. So that's the next thing that we're going to do with this problem. So we're going to have a new cell, and we're going to come down here and we're going to figure out that margin of error. So we're going to use our formula again. So in this cell, I'm going to take that t-value and I'm going to multiply it by the standard deviation divided by the square root of the sample size. So in this cell, we're going to say equals the t-value that we came up with, and then we're going to multiply that by the standard deviation, which is 8, divided by the square root of our n, the sample size. And then I'm going to close the parenthesis, and we're going to get 4.542766. So that's that value, that's that error that I'm going to add and subtract from the point estimate. So the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take the mean, which is our point estimate, so 50, and I'm going to subtract that margin of error. And then I'm going to take the 50 and I'm going to add that margin of error. And then we're going to say we've calculated the 98% confidence interval for the population mean, and now it's been computed as 45.46 to 54.54 with 2 decimal places. So let's say 45.46 to 54.54. So there's the interval that estimates the population mean, knowing that our point estimate is 50.